Today we're talking about the pros and cons of having a credit card. According to the Credit Counseling and Debt Management Agency, or AKPK, the number one reason for bankruptcy among youths is credit card debt. So the temptation to spend beyond your means is very strong when you have a credit card in your possession. Once you get the bill at the end of the month, you will soon find out that you may be living well beyond your means. We asked personal finance experts, what are the best strategies to pay off your credit card debt? According to Felix Neo, one option is to take out a personal loan to pay off your credit card debt.
Bearing in mind that credit cards come with a minimum interest expense or charge of about 15%, then I suppose the question you need to ask is, can you convert that into a personal loan, right? Because certain personal loans from licensed financial institutions may carry an interest rate that is much lower, right? And one of the reasons why I would like to suggest, I do this to some of my clients is simply because a personal loan has a set repayment schedule, right? So long as you stick to that, right, you will eventually pay off your loans. The problem with credit cards is it's on a revolving credit line, if you like. That means every month, after whatever you paid the minimum, you can use whatever's left of the credit. And then that's the reason why it's a spiral.
You may have heard of credit card companies offering to transfer all of the amount you owe from your current credit card at a lower interest rate. While it may sound attractive, according to Rajan Devadasan, it's not advisable for those who already have a problem controlling their spending.
What's really important is for people to also realize that whether you run your own business, whether you're an employee, you only have a finite amount of free cash flow per month. So in the past, let's say it's one credit card, so it's easy to handle. Your one credit card, it's full to the max, okay? And you can't really use it anymore because there's no more credit left. And then you get this, you think it's like it's like a blessing from heaven, you think, basically, because someone comes and says, let me offer you. And so you do a transfer. Let's keep things simple. Let's say it's a 10,000 ringgit credit limit and you've got 9,900 ringgit. And so you transfer 9,900 ringgit to this new term loan, and maybe the terms are you pay over 2 years or 3 years or whatever. So now your cash flow is better. But what you've done is you've suddenly gone from having a credit card that's almost full to now it's empty. But the credit limit stays the same. And now you've got this brand new term loan that you must go and finance. Now, if you had trouble at the beginning, imagine the kind of problems you have as you continue if you do not adjust your spending patterns.
If you're looking purely from an interest expense perspective, right, 15% versus 0% interest, sure, why not, right? However, don't forget, very often, those kind of offers come with new credit card applications. So that means you must be so-called credit-worthy enough to be able to, secure a new credit card, right? So balance transfers, I think it's okay, right? So long as it is not a means of ending up, so-called racking up even more credit card debt, right? Because then it defeats the whole purpose.
According to Rajan, the best way to pay off all of your debt is to actually line them all up and put the one that charges the highest interest rate at the top. Take, for example, this chart here. Now, we have credit card debts with 15% interest per annum, a home loan, car loan, and also a loan from your parents with 0 interest. Arrange it so that the one that charges the most interest rate is at the top. Now, when you have a surplus in your monthly budget, start paying extra to the one with the highest interest. Since the credit card charges the most interest, pay this one off first with your surplus. So how do you get a surplus? Well, your options are you can either get a second job or cut down on your expenses. Make sure you're also paying the minimum amount for all of your loans and pay early instead of just on time. This will establish a good credit history for you. However, Rajan warns this is only for those with strong financial discipline. You need to stay true to your budget and pay off your debts consistently. Now, if you can't do that, there's another method that you can try.
So the other strategy is you list all your loans, again against APR, but this time you put the smallest loan at the top. Second largest, third largest, fourth largest, biggest. Same thing, meet all your minimum payments, make very slight additional payments, but to the one at the top. But remember, this time the one at the top is the smallest loan. And because it's the smallest loan, it'll disappear very quickly. And if it disappears very quickly, for people who have been struggling with debt for many, many years, and they cannot see light at the end of the tunnel, to see a loan disappear is incredibly uplifting. And it encourages you. And so you are inspired to actually work harder, work smarter, manage your money better. And so for most people, even though the first approach, rank by interest rate, is mathematically more efficient, the second one, ranking from smallest to largest, in my opinion, and certainly through my experience, is psychologically more effective.
Ultimately, having a monthly budget and knowing what you can actually afford is the best way to avoid credit card debt. Go through your budget and get your priorities right.
Number one, pay yourself first. That's what they always say. That means saving and investing a portion of your monthly income. And then from there, establish what can you really afford to spend, right? The amount that you decide should not be one that will crimp your lifestyle, so to speak, but still enable you to have the kind of lifestyle, more or less, that you would like to have, right? So that basically having a budget is very important. And as I have mentioned, ideally, credit cards are just a means of helping you make payments. So as long as cash payments, credit card payments, prepaid cards and all that, all those expenses add up, to, according to your expense budget, then I think you are on the right track.
If you really need help and someone to talk to, you can always talk to the Credit Counseling and Debt Management Agency, or AKPK, to restructure your debt.